I've known Soheila before I became a judge. In fact, I've known Soheila before she or even I became lawyers. You could say I have known Soheila for a lifetime. I'm so proud that I've been asked to say a few words tonight in celebration of this prestigious award. At first, I thought I should recite Soheila's professional achievements and accomplishments in the legal field during the last 3 decades. Then I realized just to list them will take up the entire evening. So I decided to mention that her professional achievements speak for themselves, and tonight's celebration is an example of her professional excellence. Then I thought long and hard about how to describe Soheila as a human being to those of you who do not know her as well as I do. Finally, it came to me. Soheila is Wonder Woman with a law degree. Seriously, how else can you describe Soheila? Soheila epitomizes attributes of a superhero. In her professional life, in her community activities, in her advocacy for the disadvantaged, and in her devotional pursuit of spiritual learning, she personifies excellence and perfection. But that's not all. That's only her public image. More impressive is her love and devotion to her family and friends. Soheila's love of family is endless and selfless. She gives to family and friends without any expectations of return or reciprocity. I call Soheila a superhero because she has been a perfect role model for countless young girls and women in our community who have been the recipients of her scholarship and leadership. Many disadvantaged youth in our community have become successful members of our society because of Soheila. Through nonprofit organizations such as Women on the Move Network, Community Partnership for Youth Development, People for Peace and Prosperity, and Upland Interfaith Council, she has taught the younger generation that they too can succeed in whatever endeavors they undertake. Just like Wonder Woman, she has been fighting good against evil, has promoted gender and racial equality, and has championed the causes for the disadvantaged and the disfranchised. Through endless hours of pro bono legal work or countless hours of community activity, Soheila has fought for justice for all. The only difference is that Soheila has done it without any weapons in her arsenal. The only weapon she carries is a scale of justice. To know Soheila is to love Soheila. Anyone who really knows Soheila knows that. To know Soheila is to love her, not just because of her good looks or her impeccable taste in clothes or her sunny disposition. You love Soheila because of her big and loving heart. You love Soheila because of her never-ending and unwavering belief in the goodness of human spirit. I am proud to call myself a friend of this Wonder Woman with a law degree.
Good evening and warm greetings to all of you who are attending this historic, first ever amazing Western San Bernardino County Bar Association's installation of officers and award gala. I'd like to express my humble gratitude to Honorable Judge Frangi, who has nominated me, as well as all the directors at large, the board of directors, the outgoing President Wooten, the incoming President Scafidi, my dear friends Angelique Bonanno, Darren Lipinski, Dean McVeigh, and my dean, my law school dean, Kevin Marshall, and many, many others whose name may escape me tonight. But I want to let everyone know how humble and appreciative I am to receive this award. When I think of my fellow award recipient, Bill Lemon, a giant in whose footsteps I would have loved to walk, he is receiving the award tonight, and I congratulate him for that. I also want to congratulate Connie Johnson, who is receiving a well-deserved recognition for the smile and the expertise that she brings to the courtrooms. I was astounded when Honorable Frangie called me to break the news to me. It actually took a few days for me to grasp the magnitude of this huge honor. But it was truly humbling when I looked up some names that have been the recipients of this award. And I saw my mentor and friend Michael Bedard, our District Attorney Jason Anderson, Michael Scafidi, Greg Razio, Greg Bentley, Michelle Daly, and many others in whose footsteps I've always wanted to walk. When I was asked to select 3 speakers to speak on my behalf, I had to be careful. I was not sure if it's a toast or a roast. I knew that Honorable Shalala Sabit, being a master at painting and being an artist, would probably draw me as one of her masterpieces, something that I would not recognize myself. I think she did that. I know that my other friends, the academicians, President Devorah Lieberman, my hero, would say beautiful things about me. But I also knew that being an educator, she would be acting upon positive reinforcement. And that is how she would like to see me. And I will do my best to measure up to some of the compliments that she always offers and confers upon me. My friend Dr. Omid Furutan, again being an educator, has honored me with his compliments. And when I thought about all of the wonderful things that would be said about me tonight, I was thinking that if the audience even believes maybe half of what was said, that I would have a duty to measure up to those values. And then it made me ponder upon my life story and upon how I came to the place where I stand today before you. It made me ponder upon the life that I left behind in my birth country. And what is a common theme throughout my life that brings me to this point? I remembered one of the first quotes from the scripture that I had to memorize was this: "In the garden of thy heart, plant not but the rose of love." I remembered growing up in a country where families and siblings and loving parents and grandparents, cousins, aunts, and friends were abundant. Love and loving back was never an issue or a challenge. You were loved so much that loving them back was not a question. As years passed by and in my teenage years, I had to leave my country and leave every memory and every member of my family behind, because love and honor and service to humanity was being challenged and attacked by those who started a revolutionary war. And I had to leave the country in the bloodshed and in the midst of a chaos that ended up with losing friends and family members, only due to the fact that they loved their country, They loved their fellow human beings, and they loved to serve their fellow sisters and brothers. When I came to this country, the thought of love raised mixed emotions in me. I gave up on the concept of love when I lost my father at a very young age, and at a time where I was just adjusting to all the changes in this country, to this new life that I was building for myself. I thought that if I gave up on love and loving a loved one, that maybe I will not hurt as much. I remembered the quote, and I wanted to plant nothing but the rose of love in my heart. But I made a commitment to myself, a conviction that loving another human being would only hurt. And why would I want to do that? To help fill the void in my heart and in my life, I busied myself with higher education and getting involved in some service organizations. I set out on a search, in Holy Scriptures mostly, to find the true meaning of love that will not end with the loss of a dear ones. I found different ways of loving that would not perish with one human being or another. And that's where I found love in doing service projects, in bringing people together in harmony, in finding causes that are worth fighting for. This pandemic is not the first catastrophe that humanity has faced. We all agree that it's unprecedented on many levels. I believe it's unprecedented because of our response to it. And that's what will set the course of the future for us. I'm honored to have lived this time where humanity is responding to this pandemic with collective action, with learning about oneness of humanity, and with learning the value of service. And when I ponder upon the love that was planted in my heart when I was a child, although I went through so many ups and downs and challenges, that it stayed true to its essence and gave me the reward that every single act of love brought to me. I'm grateful that every act of love gave me thousandfolds of joy and bliss. And to receive an award for what gives me an everlasting and eternal sense of energy, life, and excitement, to be recognized for that and to be acknowledged and to be rewarded, I'm blown away. I'm thankful to all of you for that. I have many mentors to be thankful for. I have friends who have taught me that through service, this never-ending fountain of joy will be with me. Judge Sabbath said something about my sunny disposition, and that made me think about why I'm never unhappy. There are ups and downs in life that get me down. I just lost my beautiful hero, my mother, a few months ago. And that pain will be with me for the rest of my life. However, I have learned through deepening in the scriptures that this is only a one life that we have on this earth, and that we would be reunited as many faiths and religions have promised. So I started believing that. And the more I believe, the more I become fearless. I have my father to thank for, who taught me fearlessness and independence. My mother taught me how to love so deep that it would hurt, but that it would stay with me for the rest of my life. I have many more people to thank for. I have my mentors. I didn't mention Judge Dorothy Nelson, the judge of the Federal Court of Appeal, She was the reason that I pursued law and justice. I want to thank her for showing me the path and for letting me be who I can be. I also want to thank many bench officers, many colleagues, many members of this profession who have guided me through this journey through my professional life. I also want to thank my family and friends who have showered their unconditional love upon me. I also want to thank my staff who has given their all to me and our clients. When we come together and say prayers for the success of our work, for the faith of our clients, that is love. That is another way that I've experienced love in its fullest and in its most beautiful way. And last but not least, I want to thank my husband for having stood by me all through my life and having stayed up many sleepless nights, be it during the law school years or during trial preparation. I want to thank all of you for allowing me to share my heart with you. And now that I ponder back on that quote that I memorized as a child, in the garden of thy heart, plant not but the rose of love, I want to praise the Lord with you as my witnesses for all the love that He has bestowed upon me and for all the joy that He has filled my heart with. Thank you all and have a wonderful evening.